So when one achieves Krishna, one gains everything, both material as well as spiritual. Everything is gained. Because Krishna can give everything, correct? Akama sarvakamo va moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yaiva purusham param. So therefore, by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, by practicing the Srimad Bhagavatam, one can get material prosperity also, along with spiritual prosperity. So if one approaches the Bhagavatam for material benefits, then one can get material benefits also, because Krishna can give material benefits also. So therefore everything is there in the Bhagavatam. But at the same time, the Bhagavatam is also describing what is the topmost religion. That is going to come very soon now. But then the Bhagavatam is describing what should be aspired for by the study of the Bhagavatam. That is also being told. But then, because Krishna can give everything, material, spiritual, everything he can give. So everything is mentioned. What all benefits one can get, everything is mentioned. But at the same time, what should we aspire for, that is also mentioned. So therefore, it's not that the Bhagavatam is giving something inferior, but it is just a fact that Krishna can provide everything. And so by approaching the Bhagavatam, one can get everything. So, just like Dhruva Maharaj, he had the desire to achieve a kingdom. Krishna gave him that also, along with pure devotion. So everything is available. But then it depends on how we approach. Yes, sir.
So, you were mentioning that Krishna gives intelligence to the atheists
Mm.
to write those atheistic books and all,
Mm.
because they have a desire, the atheists have a desire. But then, like, the question will be asked is that because of such atheistic books, people are becoming atheists, and indirectly that is the cause of all these natural disasters also, in one sense, in the sense. So, like Krishna is, so then Poshanam, where is the question of Poshanam then from the Lord? Lord is said to be the maintainer. So if Krishna gives the intelligence to write those books, then people may question that what about maintenance by the Lord? Then he is not the good maintainer then, if he is allowing such things to happen.
I heard one incident of during the COVID times of a person who was infected by COVID, and he was admitted in hospital for a few days, and at the end of that the hospital levied a heavy bill. And so when the man saw the bill, he started crying. And so the hospital staff, they felt a little compassion. They thought, oh, maybe the man is unable to pay the heavy bill, therefore he's crying. So they asked him, why are you crying? It's so difficult to pay the bill. What was the reply?
God is paying freely.
What is giving freely? So he said, I'm crying because so many years the Lord has been giving oxygen free of cost. And now for a few days I was on this oxygen and there's such a heavy bill. Feeling gratitude for the Lord, there were tears in his eyes. Did you get your answer?
Yeah, maybe one aspect of it to be grateful to God, what God is giving.
Even to the atheists, even to the most sinful, they are also getting. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yogi. So Srila Prabhupada explains all the living entities are Krishna's children, and so therefore Krishna provides for everyone. Even though they may be rebellious, he's maintaining.
He is maintaining the atheist, that is not a problem. That is like a fact.
Mm.
Everyone agrees that Krishna is providing all the daily necessities.
Mm.
These people are are causing so many disturbances in the material world which makes suffer everyone. So what about that?
So, why do the others accept those theories?
That is there.
They want to accept.
Because?
They want to accept.
Yes, because they want to accept. Who's forcing them to accept? These people are writing atheistic books and there are those fools who are accepting. But who's forcing them to accept? It's all based on desire. So these people have a desire to write the books. They are getting the ability to write the books. And there are others who desire to follow them. And so as Srila Prabhupada quoted Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the world of cheaters and the cheated. Some people want to cheat and some people want to be cheated. Krishna puts them together. Good company.
But in the factories and everything, what they are emitting in the global warming, what is happening? So everyone is getting suffered.
Yes. So,
So where is the question of maintenance?
For devotee. Yeah, he is asking for the devotees are also suffering. That is what he is asking.
are you talking about devotee suffering?
Yeah, because of Krishna giving intelligence to the atheists and creating the whole system.
So, devotees also have to suffer birth, old age, disease, death. And what about that?
And everyone has to suffer.
Everyone has to suffer. Then why are you discriminating them?
The other Radi Bhakti Klesh, Adi,
They're going to be there anyways.
they are getting aggravated by the atheistic theory.
So then ultimately, this way or that way, this one type of disease will come, another type of disease will come. Ultimately, there will be different types of suffering, but that's the nature of the material world. And in the ultimate issue, do devotees suffer?
Yes and no.
Do devotees suffer?
Depends on his consciousness.
Yes, that's correct. But whatever it is, even if, yes, ultimately on a material platform, everyone has to suffer. Correct. Everyone has to suffer. But then, what's the ultimate solace for the devotee? The last birth. No more suffering. That is the ultimate goal. As far as this life is concerned, this type of suffering or that type of suffering. Suffering is the nature of this material world. One cannot avoid it. Prabhupada gives the example, just like waves of the ocean, you can't stop them. Can't stop suffering of this world. So, just the nature of suffering, the types of diseases may vary. But ultimately, whatever be the suffering condition, ultimately the body has to die one day. So, one has to see what's the ultimate remedy. These things will go on in this world. That's not so.
The question is related to yesterday's one of your statement that in some scriptures Lord Vishnu is mentioned as a supreme personality of Godhead, and in others, including Srimad Bhagavatam, that Lord Shiva is supreme personality of Godhead or God Brahman. So you said that which statement is absolute statement? So what is the criteria to identify which one is absolute?
Yes, we will come to that discussion when we discuss 1.3.28. When we discuss that verse, when we discuss this one. Okay.
Maybe in case some devotee feels that in my surroundings, in my community environment, I am not getting this environment of non-envy, because of which I am not growing, or he's just not growing and he doesn't even know this. Then his life is past now, or is completing now. Then how will he then get the benefit? He was just simple, whatever opportunities he was getting, he was serving. Am I able to explain my question?
Okay, so basically what you're trying to say is that, okay, a devotee is there in a certain circumstances, situations where surrounding people are envious and there are some impediments, and then what happens?
Then, what will be his fate?
So his fate is dependent on what?
Him also cultivating
Cultivating what?
non-envious service.
So who's stopping him from being non-envious?
But he needs that surrounding of community, or Prabhupada is also telling associated with pure devotees. He needs that sufficiently being practiced in his community. Then only rank and file devotee can be expected. So Krishna will expect from him also. Or
So my first question is, what is the impediment for oneself to become non-envious? Okay, you're talking about association, correct?
he needs that to see. around.
Okay, okay. So first of all, is it possible that in the material world, is it possible to find, that's what we were discussing, is it possible to find, even amongst devotees, is it possible to find somebody who is 100% non-envious?
Yeah, it is possible. Somebody maybe there's some great Vaishnavas maybe.
Okay, so what's the probability of finding someone who is 100% non-envious while being in the material world?
Very, very little.
Very rare, correct. So then, what's the possibility for all of us to have association of such 100% pure devotees?
Very little.
Very little. So then what's the solution? What's the solution? So you're saying, you're talking about one particular devotee who's not finding association of non-envious people, non-envious devotees. But that seems to be the situation for all of us, isn't it? So then what do we all do? That means we are all hopeless cases, right? None of us can get purified. In this association, none of us can get purified because we are surrounded by people who are not 100% pure, who are not 100% non-envious. So seems to be a very hopeless situation, right? Maybe we have to find some other organization. What do you say? Good question. You're asking a very good question, so therefore we are churning the subject a little bit. Maybe many others may have similar questions.
Means I feel that if in my surroundings, or any devotee, in his surroundings, largely if it is practiced, the mood of augmenting each other's devotion service, then for that person, to begin to understand what Srila Prabhupada in this purport is aiming at is possible. But if largely he sees people quarreling and battling for the gross things, then what is the scope for him to ever understand even this purport and then feel that relief after having come to a Vaishnava organization of ISKCON-like status? Such high.
My question still remains. Is there any strong impediments for oneself to act on the non-envious platform?
Yeah, I see this only, that lack of such examples, if not like 100% pure, but lack of such examples around me is the biggest impediment.
There are no examples? Are there no examples? Wait a minute. Relax.
Okay, so some examples will be there of such devotees, and then you need to be educated to perceive this being practiced.
So, as far as ISKCON is concerned, we definitely have one prime example.
Sure, Prabhupada.
Exactly. We definitely have the example of Srila Prabhupada. Agree?
Yeah.
And what do you think of so many of Srila Prabhupada's senior disciples?
Yeah. Wonderful, amazing.
So there are quite a few, right? So why not follow them? Why not take inspiration from them? And then, I think so it was Mahatma Gandhi who made this statement. Be the change
You want to see
that you want to see in the world. We can take something good even from Mahatma Gandhi. So why not begin with myself? And there are enough examples within our society. And then what to speak of all the examples of the previous acharyas? And even amongst those with whom we are staying, our peers, they may not be on a 100% non-envious platform, but if they have a sincere desire to be on that platform, then that sincerity has to be appreciated. Who is a pure devotee? One who is following the path of pure devotion is to be considered pure devotee, according to Krishna's Paramahansa. So, don't we have such examples of sincere devotees trying to become non-envious amongst us? Even if there are two, even if there are three, why can't we take inspiration from them?
I'm thinking about some place, in India. Like we have very small centers also. We have several places in India, and sometimes the very leaders of that center, the congregation devotees may be feeling that they're sorry for these leaders, even by their own middle understanding, which they are, because they are also living in the world. So when they see very few of 3, 4, 5 leaders in the temple, mostly brahmacharis, and they feel sorry for them, then what is the fate for these people now? They are maybe even initiated chanting, and these have elevated concepts. Now they are feeling sorry even for the people who are running the center, because even they understand basic things about worldly dealings. They are in the world. So then for such devotees,
My question still remains the same. What is preventing me from acting on a non-envious platform, or at least trying to act on a non-envious platform? See, first of all, I have to admit that I myself, being a part of the material world, is envious, correct? Can I say that I'm 100% pure? Now I'm looking towards others and saying that okay, they are not pure, they are having issues. But what about me? Am I pure? So yes, I can take example from those who are sincerely trying. I have examples of great stalwart acharyas who are definitely 100% pure. I can first of all take their example. And then I can take examples of those who are sincerely trying for it. And then ultimately, I can be inspired and I can try to be non-envious, because by trying to be non-envious, who is benefited?
I am benefiting at least.
I'm not doing a favor to anybody else. I'm doing a favor to myself, this jiva who is trapped in this body. I'm trying to benefit myself. So, if I want to Nate vidur swarthagatim hi Vishnu, if I actually want to be swarthi, if I want to be selfish for oneself by accepting the process of devotional service. So therefore, if I am determined that I will follow the principles of scriptures, now we have read purports of Srila Prabhupada right now. Is there any ambiguity as to how we should practice devotional service? No, there's no ambiguity. Is there any ambiguity as to how one can come to the non-envious platform? We just read. Prabhupada says it very clearly. How is it possible? By sadhana. So what is preventing me from performing my sadhana properly? What is preventing me from purifying myself? I know what to do. Why do I always have to depend on somebody else? And even if that is correct, yes, we need association. But we do have the association of the right people. How can we deny it? I'm 100% sure, in every center, small or big, we do find some sincere devotees. I'm very sure about it. Even if it may be one, why not take inspiration from one? More are not required. Prabhupada said one moon is better than millions of stars. So if there is one moon, why not take inspiration from that one moon? When Srila Prabhupada went to the West, no comparisons of course, but yet, when Srila Prabhupada went to the West, with whom was he staying? Where was he getting his inspiration from? Of course, you can argue he's Mahabhagavad, all that. But yet, from a practical viewpoint, he was alone. So therefore, if one is determined, first of all, as an English saying goes, seek and you shall find. We seek that right association, Krishna will send it if we have that sincere desire. See, it's very easy to blame others, to blame surroundings, to blame situations and say what to do. I can't practice because my association is not good, this is not good, that is not good. That's all easy. That's all easy to blame. And there's no end to it if one starts blaming. But then determination means, in spite of the obstacles, in spite of the challenges, I still endeavor to be on the path of dharma. That's integrity. And so, when the sincerity is there, Krishna will give the right inspiration, Krishna will give the help, and Krishna will send the people to inspire us. And Krishna is giving all those assurances in the Gita. Like, yes, Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. Krishna is ready to protect what one has, give what one lacks. What is the terms and conditions applied? Aranyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam. Those are the conditions. If those conditions are fulfilled, then Krishna is ready to reciprocate. Yoga Kshema Maham. Tesham sadayuktanam bhajadam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayanti te. Krishna is ready to reciprocate. We need to have the sincere desire. We need to put our efforts. Krishna will reciprocate. This is our conviction on the basis of Krishna's words.
Thank you.
Hope that helps.
Yeah. Because I understand, because I was thinking from the viewpoint of a rank and file devotee. who is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
very determined, who is not very sincere. But if he has the sincere desire to serve God, then your point is that Krishna will arrange.
Yes.
He will get that vision or that viewpoint to other devotees or whatever else.
Yes, Krishna will arrange. Only qualification, Prabhupada writes in the 14th chapter of the Nectar of Devotion, right in the beginning of the chapter. The only qualification required to practice devotional service is sincerity. And Prabhupada repeats it in so many of his purports, as we will see in just the few chapters that we will study. We will see how many times Srila Prabhupada repeats this word sincerity. That's the only qualification. Then Krishna will make the arrangements if we have that sincerity. If we don't have the sincerity, then Krishna will also give 108 reasons to justify why one is not able to be serious. Krishna will give so many reasons to justify. Oh, he is the cause, this situation is cause, that situation is cause. Everyone else is the cause of my not being serious in Krishna consciousness except me. Now, everything begins with my desire. Everything begins with that. When that desire is there, then everything else will be arranged. That's my small understanding. You're an experienced preacher. If you want to expand on it, you're most welcome.
No, thank you. Here also this Shadguru was asking about Poshana. So you were answering from the viewpoint of materialistic body and well-being, wealth, well-being. Is it Poshana actually that only, or is it more about Bhakti is Poshana, maintaining the Bhakti of the devotee?
Yes. Poshanam. Now, the word Poshanam has a general meaning.
Okay.
And if you talk about Poshanam from the viewpoint of the 10 subject matters of the Bhagavatam, then there that word Poshanam is especially referring to devotees. Right. But in either case, Krishna is doing both. Krishna is maintaining the living entities in general, and Krishna is maintaining his devotees, needless to say, in all aspects. Again, the same verses, Yoga Kshema Vahami. Krishna is giving material facilities, spiritual facilities, emotional facilities, everything Krishna is giving for his devotees. He's giving you. When we discussed that Yoga Kshema Vahamiyan verse in the Bhagavad Gita, we discussed this protection of the Lord from all aspects, at all aspects in the lives of devotees. Physical protection, emotional protection, spiritual protection, everything Krishna is giving for his devotees. We have examples from the Shastras for everything. Okay. Hare Krishna. So we are proceeding now. Okay. So the next part of the verse is Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayo Moolanam. So here, Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu. Now, Prabhupada is commenting on this. Okay, so somebody can read the next paragraph of the purport. The impersonal aspect of the absolute truth.
The impersonal aspect of the absolute truth is not the highest. Above the impersonal feature is the Paramatma feature, and above this is the personal feature of the absolute truth, or Bhagwan. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in his personal feature. It is higher than impersonalist literatures and higher than the Jnana Kanda division of the Vedas. It is even higher than the Karma Kanda division and even higher than the Upasana Kanda division, because it recommends the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. In the Karma Kanda, there is competition to reach heavenly planets for better self gratification, and there is similar competition in the Jnana Kanda and the Upasana Kanda. The Srimad Bhagavatam is superior to all of these because it aims at the supreme truth, which is the substance or the root of all categories. From Srimad Bhagavatam one can come to know the substance as well as the categories. Substance is the absolute truth, the supreme Lord, and all emanations are relative forms of energy.
Continue, a small paragraph.
Nothing is apart from the substance, but at the same time, energies are different from the substance. This conception is not contradictory. Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly promulgates this simultaneously one and different philosophy of the Vedanta Sutra, which begin with the Janmadi Asya Sutra.
Okay, so the Vedyam Vastavam Vastu. Vastavam Vastu means the real substance. So there is the real substance, which is the Samam Bonam, that is the supreme absolute truth. And then there are the categories, that means everything related with the real substance. And so what all is related with the actual substance, with the supreme absolute truth, are Krishna's energies, Krishna's expansions. So there is small amshas, vibhinnamshas. So all these are within the subject matter of categories. So there is the Vastavam Vastu, or there is the Vastavam. Vastavam is the actual substance, and then there is the Vastu, or all the others which are related to the actual substance. So Srila Prabhupada also in a lecture, he comments on this. Please read. First one, you read, no?
It is said, Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Molanam. There is Vastu. Vastu means Samam Bonam, original, and the Vastava. Just like Krishna and his different energies, the different energies are called Vastava. In relationship with Vastu, and Krishna is Vastu. So here it is said that Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu. Vastavam, you can understand Krishna in all his features. And if you understand, then Shivadam, it is auspicious, Tapatrayon Molanam.
Yes, so here Srila Prabhupada is saying the Vastu means the Samam Bonam, and the Vastava means everything in connection to the Samam Bonam, and that is the various energies and everything else in connection. So if one understands this Krishna in all his features, everything related to Krishna, then the result is what? Shivadam and Tapatrayon Molanam. Then one can experience auspiciousness and one can become free from the threefold miseries. Yes.
Upasana Kand is mentioned in the paragraph.
Yes. So, as Prabhupada is writing, so Upasana Kand is okay. It basically talks about the worship of the various devatas, Upasana, worship of devatas. This is higher than that is the worship of the Supreme Personality. Okay, so that is Vedyam Vastavam Atravastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Molanam. Okay, so this is Vishnu Chakra's commentary on that part. Vastavam Vastu. Please read.
The permanent object Vastavam Vastu includes the name form qualities of the Lord and his abodes, such as Vaikuntha, his devotees, and Bhakti world are not permanent.
You can save our ears by placing the microphone a little away from your mouth.
Are not permanent. It should be understood that through both Vaikuntha and the material world are real. Vaikuntha is a really
Substantial.
Vastavam, and the material world is not unreal object, such as flower in the sky are called avastu. What will happen with gaining the knowledge of permanently real? It give auspiciousness, Shivadam, in the form of becoming an associate of the Lord with the prema as the desired result. It give release from the three miseries of liberation. Tapatrayam Molanam.
The unsought result is a byproduct. So freedom from the miseries is a byproduct of the practice of devotional services. The first characteristic of pure devotional services. First characteristic is Kleshagni. Kleshagni. One becomes free from the miseries. So when one understands all this knowledge, this is the result. Shivadam Tapatrayonulanam. Okay. Now going on to the next part of the verse. Next part of the verse he says is Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapare. So if one understands this Srimad Bhagavatam, which has been given by Mahamuni Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva is writing Mahamuni Vyas for himself. Looks a little strange, isn't it? So I heard this explanation from someone that actually it's there in one of the Acharya's commentaries also, I suppose. So he says that actually when Vyasadeva himself is writing Mahamuni Krite, so he is seeing himself simply as a representative of the knowledge given by the Supreme Lord. So, because after all, originally the Bhagavatam has been spoken by Krishna himself. Krishna is the original speaker of the Bhagavatam. So Vyasadeva has only compiled it, correct, or expanded upon it. So therefore, even though he is writing Mahamuni Krite, so he is not seeing himself as the actual speaker of the Bhagavatam. He is thinking of the Supreme Lord as he is writing Mahamuni. He is not referring to himself. He is actually referring to the Supreme Lord and himself as only an instrument. So that's the consciousness with which he is writing. And so he says if one understands the Srimad Bhagavatam, then what is the need of any other scripture? Kim Vapare. And then when one realizes the Supreme Lord, Ishvaraha, by the study of the Bhagavatam, when one realizes the Supreme Lord, then what is the result? Ishvara Sadhyo Ridhi Avarudyate. So what will happen? Ishvara, that is the Supreme Lord, Sadhya, at once. Ridhi means within the heart. Avarudyate means? Prabhupada in the word to word says, becomes compact. Becomes compact. So when one understands the Srimad Bhagavatam given by Vyasadeva, then the result will be that the Supreme Lord becomes compact. Or there are other meanings also. The Lord tightly sits down within the heart. And Srila Prabhupada gives a very interesting meaning of the word avarudyate. Please read.
If you, instead of making a speculation, if you simply surrender to Vyasadeva, his writings, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kirte, then the result will be Kim Va Pare. You do not require to study any other literature. The result will be if you surrender to the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Ishvara, the Supreme Controller, Sadhya Hridaya Avarudyate. Ishvara is already there, but there it is used the word Swarudyate. Avarudyate. He is locked up.
So this is a very graphical meaning of the word avarudyate, locked up.
He wants to be locked up. Krishna Paramatma. He wants to be, but we don't care. But by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by discourses in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ishvara Sadhya immediately Hirdi Abhirudyate, but in whose heart he becomes locked up.
So who locks Krishna? Pure devotee. But who can lock up Krishna? We just read in the previous verse that Krishna is Swaraj. He is independent.
He wants to be.
Yes, he wants to be locked up. He wants to be locked up. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying, in whose heart he becomes locked up, or in whose heart he wants to be locked up. So then, the next part of the verse is continue.
Kirtivi means those who are pious, those who are sinful, they cannot. Kirtivi susrusubhi, two things. He must be pious, that pious piety as soon as he surrenders. Just like Krishna says, Piety, it is not that. Then I have to become pious first of all. Then I shall understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So it will take the long time. No. If we will take
Tat Shana.
Tat Chana in a second, how? Simply by surrender. As soon as you surrender, immediately you become pious. How immediately? Yes, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Sarva Dharman. As soon as you surrender, Krishna, I was misled so long, now today I am surrendering unto your lotus feet. Now, if you like, you kill me or protect me as you like. Then everything is alright.
Yes. So Krishna agrees to become locked up. In whose heart? Two words are used. Kritibi and Shushtushubi. So Kritibi means one who is pious. So here of course piety does not mean material piety here. It means spiritual piety. It means how one has surrendered to the Supreme Lord. And then Shushtushubi. Now Prabhupada, he expands on this word Shushtushubi and he is explaining very nicely in the second last paragraph. What is the meaning of Shushtushubi? Now if you see in the word to word meaning, what is Prabhupada translated Shushtushubi as? By culture. So yesterday we had an elaborate discussion on the importance of culture in Krishna consciousness. So what is this culture that Srila Prabhupada is talking about? That is explaining in the purports. The proper method for receiving this transcendental message is to hear it submissively. A challenging attitude cannot help one realize this transcendental message. One particular word is used herein for proper guidance. This word is Shushtushu. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. The desire to sincerely hear is the first qualification. So this entire paragraph, Prabhupada has elaborated on this word Shushtushu. So it is the culture of receiving knowledge. What is this culture? There are three aspects Prabhupada has given under this culture of receiving knowledge. What are the three aspects? Submissive hearing, not a challenging attitudes, and proper guidance, anxious to hear, and sincerely hear. There are 5 aspects. There are 5 aspects under this Shushtushubi. This is the culture of receiving knowledge. So first of all, one has to hear submissively. Submissively means, as Srila Prabhupada says, so if one goes to the Guru and says, and thinks, he may not say it, if he thinks, oh, I already know what this person is going to teach me. I already know. Let me see how much he knows. So if one has that type of an attitude, one can't gain much. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that just like if a glass is already full with water, what can you fill it with? There's no space. Correct? You may have heard that story. Prabhupada tells the story of the Mridanga teacher. I think it is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's story, right? So 2 students approached. One, the teacher says, how much is the fees? 200 rupees. Another student, 50 rupees. Why the difference? Huh? First student, why 200 rupees?
He knows something already.
Yes, he already knows too much. So then what the teacher has to do?
Erase it.
Yes, first of all erase that so that something new can get inside. Otherwise there is no space. And just like sometimes you have a pen drive or something, it's already full. Then what you have to do? Format, delete, you have to do something. So similarly, if one is already full, or as Prabhupada says in some lectures, if one is over smart, If one is over smart, over intelligent, I already know everything, one can't learn. So therefore Srila Prabhupada says, what is the right mode in receiving knowledge? The example has been set by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. What was his mode in approaching his spiritual master? Guru More Murkha Dekhi Karire Sakshi. That is the way of approaching. Many times Prabhupada gives this example. The Supreme Lord himself is setting the standard. So one simply thinks he is a fool before the spiritual master. If one has that attitude, then one can learn. If one thinks I already can't learn much. So that is the meaning of submissive attitude, no challenging attitudes, and then hearing from the right source, under guidance, not from anyone. And then anxious to hear. There must be hunger to hear. Just like in Ayurveda, it said, what is the symptom of good digestion? Hunger. Therefore, in Ayurveda, they say, eat when you are hungry, because that is the symptom of good digestion. So, if when one is hungry, if one eats, then the food will be digested. So, similarly, if one wants to assimilate the spiritual subject matter and realize the spiritual subject matter, there needs to be hunger. Anxious to hear. Anxious to hear. And then, when one is hearing, how one should hear? Sincerely hear. What is the meaning of hearing sincerely? What is the meaning of hearing sincerely?
Willing to apply those things what we have.
Okay, that's one meaning. Very good. Willing to apply.
Attentive and thoughtful.
Attentive and thoughtful. Yes, good.
Asking relevant questions, clarification.
Asking relevant questions, clarification. That's also right.
Not filtering the message by one's own mental filter.
Okay, not filtering the message. That's good.
With the desire to advance in spiritual life.
With the desire to advance in spiritual life. The basic meaning of the word sincere means no material motives, no other motives. Not that one is sitting in class, why have we come? Why are we here in this class? Somebody could say, because we want Bhakti Vaibhav certificate. It's not a wrong reason, but that's a byproduct. That's a byproduct. What's the main reason? Somebody may say, okay, we're hearing so that we get good points. Good points for what? For application or for showing off to others? Or both? So one could be sitting with different motives, but to sincerely hear means only one motive. And what is that? What is that? To please Guru and Krishna. Only one motive. We are sitting here and hearing because Srila Prabhupada wanted us to do it. That's all. He wanted us to hear, he wanted us to read his books, that's why we are doing it. There is no other motive. That is meaning of sincerely hearing. This is the meaning of Shushrush. So these are the qualifications. Shushrushubhi, Kritibhi. Then when one has these qualifications, the Lord is so pleased that what happens? He becomes locked up. Avarudyate. He agrees to become locked up in the heart because he's so pleased with that devotee. And then the next paragraph Prabhupada is saying the process is simple, but the application is difficult. What is the main reason why the application is difficult?
Envy.
Okay, envy, false ego, sense gratification, other motives, yes. So because of all these various material conditionings that we have, they prevent us from the applying what we hear. But then that's the sincerity. The sincerity is to try and apply. Okay? Prabhupada concludes the purport by saying, Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in the shloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. The intelligent person with thoughtful discretion can be assured by the great sage Vyasadeva that he can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Without undergoing the different stages of realization set forth in the Vedas, one can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramahamsa simply by agreeing to receive this message. So one can become Paramahamsa by receiving this message as told here. What is the right attitude in receiving this message? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So attendance please. I know it's time up, but just a few minutes